The Dragunov sniper rifle, SVD, is one of the most recognizable small-arms systems of the 20th century. Its silhouette is familiar even to those who have never taken an interest in firearms. Lightweight, reliable, easy to maintain, and designed for mass-scale marksman training, it has become the standard for a large part of the world, dispelling the stereotype that accuracy is only possible with expensive and fickle bolt-action systems. The SVD was not designed as a high-precision weapon for professional snipers, but as a military self-loading rifle with enhanced accuracy, a weapon capable of reliably engaging targets at ranges of up to 600–800 meters in real combat conditions. Its purpose was simple: to provide every rifle unit with a long-range weapon that doesn't require expert marksmanship and can operate in sand, mud, frost, and rain. When the USSR Ministry of Defense announced a competition to create a new sniper rifle in 1958, everything was clear. The country needed a design suitable for mass production and highly resistant to extreme conditions. Several design bureaus participated in the competition, but it was the design by Yevgeny Dragunov, an engineer, marksman, athlete, and precision enthusiast, that offered a balance of characteristics that continues to amaze experts. The SVD featured a gas-operated, long-stroke piston system, a rigid receiver, a thin but high-quality barrel, unique rifling geometry, and most importantly, a completely new standard ammunition solution, the 7N1 cartridge, designed specifically for it. It also came with a PSO1 optical sight with illumination, a rangefinder reticle, a flare filter, and a distinctive graduation for shooting at a full-length target. By the early 1960s, the finished model surpassed its competitors in accuracy, reliability, and technological advancement. And when the rifle was accepted into service in 1963, it proved to be a perfect fit for Soviet combat doctrine: mobile, rugged, and suitable for infantry, airborne forces, Marines, and reconnaissance units. Decades later, the SVD has served in Afghanistan, Chechnya, the Middle East, Africa, and the Balkans, from deserts to mountain ranges, from urban combat to positional fire. Everywhere, it demonstrated the same thing: it always works, and that's what made it a legend. Today we'll explore the history of the SVD, the technical solutions that made it outstanding, real-life combat examples of its use, and the rifle's journey from its first prototypes to its modern modifications. The development of the SVD began in the late 1950s, when it became clear that the Red Army's post-war sniper units no longer met modern requirements. The Mosin rifle, despite its legendary status, was outdated, heavy, slow, and morally inadequate for new mobile combat patterns. The Army needed a semi-automatic system capable of accurate fire at ranges inaccessible to ordinary marksmen. A competition for a new rifle was announced in 1958. The teams of Simonov, Kalashnikov, and Dragunov participated. Simonov proposed a modernized SKS, Kalashnikov a sniper version of the AK, and Dragunov a design created from scratch as a high-precision semi-automatic. Dragunov's approach proved to be the most far-sighted. Despite its external resemblance to the AKS-47, the rifle had its own architecture, tailored for precision. Initially, the engineer was faced with the task of combining three seemingly incompatible elements. 1. High accuracy. 2. Reliable automation that works in mud, sand, and frost. 3. Manufacturability, suitable for mass production. The SVD became that rare system in which compromise turned into an advantage. The rifle features a gas-operated system with a long-stroke gas piston, a solution renowned for its reliability. However, unlike the AK, it uses a rigid receiver and a different principle of interaction between the moving parts. The barrel is the heart of the SVD. It has length 620 mm, chrome-plated, thin walls to reduce weight, 4 grooves with a right pitch of 320 mm. Despite its apparent fragility, the barrel demonstrates impressive stability, which was made possible by its free-floating design, a feature rarely seen on military semi-automatics at the time. The receiver is machined and rigid, without any unnecessary technological simplifications. This increased the cost, but dramatically increased precision, a necessary compromise to meet military requirements. The long-stroke gas piston is located separately from the bolt carrier rod, which reduces the impact of automatic vibration on the barrel during firing, one of the key differences from the Kalashnikov assault rifle. The bolt has 3 locking lugs, ensuring stable locking and even load distribution. This design allows it to withstand the pressure of powerful rifle cartridges, preserving the weapon's lifespan. The 10-round magazine is made of steel, with rigid guides and a powerful spring. The design ensures feeding even in heavily contaminated conditions. The standard SVD sight is the PSO-1, developed specifically for its ballistic characteristics. Features of PSO-1: magnifications, built-in rangefinder reticle, sidelight indicator, infrared filter to combat enemy illuminators, scale illumination. It was the PSO-1 that made the SVD convenient, not only for snipers, but also for marksmen. The sight allowed for quick range determination and fire adjustment. 7N1 sniper cartridge was created specifically for the SVD. It was distinguished by elongated shell, uniform core, improved bullet geometry, strict control of powder mass. Later, the 7N14 cartridge appeared, an armor-piercing cartridge designed to hit targets in protective equipment. It was the combination of the SVD and 7N1, 7N14 that gave the rifle the accuracy that its competitors failed to achieve. The SVD has been used in armies around the world for over 60 years. In every war, it has demonstrated one thing: reliability and stability. Afghanistan. Here, the rifle demonstrated superior range compared to assault rifles. In mountainous conditions, where combat took place at 500 to 900 meters, the SVD was indispensable. Infantry units often had 2 or 3 SVD-equipped snipers, capable of suppressing Mujahideen firing positions. Chechnya. In urban combat, the rifle was effective at medium ranges, engaging targets through building openings. Infantry noted its ease of use in close-quarters firefights. Syria. The SVD became the weapon of choice for firing at terrorist groups at ranges of up to 800 meters. Its ease of maintenance made it ideal for Allied armies lacking a high level of weapons training. Africa and the Middle East. Here, the SVD was valued primarily for the fact that it continued to function even after decades of storage and harsh use. Role in the modern army. Despite the emergence of new systems, the SVD remains the basis of sniper training, DMR-class weapons, high-precision marksmen, the benchmark for reliability among semi-automatic rifles. No other rifle combines such accuracy, simplicity, and the highest service life. The SVD is a rare weapon that simultaneously became a symbol of an era and a workhorse, remaining in service even decades later. When thinking of the Soviet Army, its equipment, its discipline, and its approach to weapons design, this rifle is one of the first to spring to mind. Long, austere, functional, designed not for aesthetics, but to fulfill a specific military mission. It lacks unnecessary details, pretentious lines, or attempts to create a legend, and that's precisely why it has become a legend. By the time the SVD entered service with the USSR in 1963, the military had clearly acquired a tool that exceeded expectations, a reliable semi-automatic rifle capable of accurate fire at ranges inaccessible to submachine gunners, providing the army with an entirely new type of soldier, a highly accurate marksman. In essence, the SVD created a new concept within the infantry, not an elite sniper operating as an isolated unit, but a soldier integrated into a squad, capable of providing fire support, disrupting enemy formations, and destroying key targets from a distance where the enemy cannot respond. This made the rifle not just a weapon, but an essential element of a tactical formation. For decades, the SVD demonstrated a unique combination of qualities that explains its longevity. Its simple design allowed it to be maintained in conditions where any Western precision weapon would require a full workshop overhaul. The chrome-plated barrel provided years of service without loss of performance. The gas-operated system functioned in sandstorms, extreme cold, tropical humidity, and dust. Most importantly, even after decades of use, the rifle retained its primary function, reliably engaging targets at ranges of up to 800 meters. This is the paradox of the SVD. It wasn't perfect, but it was right. Its accuracy wasn't up to the level of bolt-action rifles, But its semi-automatic design compensated for this with a high rate of fire and the ability to quickly adjust fire. Its weight and size may have seemed excessive, but they were precisely what ensured stability and a comfortable recoil. Its PSO-1 sight seems outdated by today's standards, but in the context of its time, it was a revolutionary tool, allowing the shooter to see the range and work in low-light conditions. The SVD didn't just serve, it shaped a culture of firearms use. Thousands of shooters around the world began their careers with this rifle, learning ballistics, windage, and the intricacies of semi-automatic fire. For many soldiers from Asia, Africa, and the Middle East, the SVD became the first weapon that allowed them to confidently engage targets beyond the machine gunner's line of sight, leading to a rethinking of small unit tactics and the emergence of the role of the marksman, a highly accurate marksman. The SVD's influence was especially noticeable during conflicts where precision and durability trumped technological sophistication. In Afghanistan, it became a symbol of the Soviet Army's range, enabling it to suppress enemy fire in the mountains. In Chechnya, it became an urban combat weapon, capable of hitting targets through windows and through walls. In Syria, it became a rifle that could be relied upon even with minimal maintenance. And every time, regardless of the conditions, the SVD demonstrated one thing: stability, reliability, and combat readiness. No less important was the influence the SVD had on global weapons design. Following its introduction, many countries began creating their own DMR rifles, inspired by its concept: a long barrel, semi-automatic design, reliability, and adaptability to mass production. The Israeli Galats, the Chinese NDM-86, and the Yugoslav M76 all reflect the Dragunov's legacy in one way or another. Even modern Western DMR systems, such as the SR-25 and HK-417, further develop the same idea. An infantry squad must have a marksman who can confidently operate at ranges beyond 500 meters. But despite all this heritage, the SVD is also interesting because it remains relevant even today. This weapon doesn't become obsolete in the same way that electronic systems, optics, or polymer materials do. Steel and wood, mechanics, and gas-operated systems, all this makes the rifle independent of external factors. Many modern armies continue to modernize the SVD, installing new optics, adjustable stocks, modern rails, and ammunition. And each time, it turns out that the basic design still stands up to the demands of the 21st century. More than 60 years later, the SVD remains a weapon spoken of with respect. It's called efficient, reliable, and honest. It wasn't created for show, it was created for war, and that's precisely why it has become immortal. The SVD is an example of how engineering, striving for practicality and efficiency, can create a rifle that outlives eras, armies, countries, and technologies. It's a weapon that continues to serve, a weapon that is known and will be known, a weapon that has left its mark on history deep, precise, as true as every shot it fired.